So, you've decided you want to explore and perhaps pursue adult teaching or training? Congratulations! You've embarked on a very exciting and rewarding journey. This presentation is designed to help you create the necessary strategies in order to keep adult learners engaged in the classroom and the content. So without further ado, I present to you Engaging Adult Learners, created by myself, Krista Bocchino. Picture this. It's 6:30 p.m. on a Tuesday. There are 8 or more students registered to attend your class, and these students will have to commit to meeting for 3 hours every Tuesday evening for the next 13 weeks. Some, most, or all of the students may have full-time jobs, family, and or hobbies or other obligations that may take priority over this class. Some may have been up since 6 a.m. or earlier. They may be tired and hungry, some traveling a distance to be here, fighting traffic and maybe weather too. And some, do I dare say it, some are already entertaining the idea of, ugh, why am I here again? This, my fellow aspiring teacher trainer of adults, could be a perfect example of a classroom situation you may find yourself in. And so, that being said, one of the most important challenges you may face throughout your teaching training career is the challenge of engaging your adult learners. I will be discussing in detail 2 major components that are required in order to engage your adult learners. These components are comprised of strategies that will enhance your adult learners' engagement. First, let's talk about the word engaging and what it means. Dictionary.com explains this adjective in 3 words: winning, attractive, pleasing. Now those words sound great, but how do we incorporate them into teaching our adult learners? Let's jump into the first component. Learning environment. Creating a supportive learning environment is essential in engaging adult learners. When students feel safe, relaxed, respected, and willing to take risks, they are more likely to feel comfortable in their learning environment and to pursue their goals. Here are some strategies you can use to create a supportive learning environment. Building a strong classroom community. Simple things like learning each other's names and having students work in pairs, small groups, or whole class activities can be essential. It is best when this is done on the very first day of class. It enables students to communicate and develop connections with one another. Developing exercises or assignments that focus on the students' experiences can be very satisfying for them. Also, giving students opportunities to share their backgrounds and cultures. These strategies will also help you as the teacher to better know your audience, and the importance of this point will be discussed shortly. Building self-esteem and self-efficacy. Setting attainable goals is essential to building self-esteem. Goals should be SMART, which means specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. Giving adult students options on things like what topic their assignments will be on or how they choose to deliver their presentations will help build self-efficacy skills. Showing adult students respect is a must. As a teacher-trainer, we must learn to treat our adult learners as equals and allow them to voice their thoughts and ideas freely in the classroom, which also builds their self-esteem. Offering praise and acknowledgement is a given when helping build self-esteem. When adult learners accomplish something, having positive feedback from both the instructor and their peers is a positive and assuring way to help the student as well as the learning environment thrive. Using positive nonverbal communication. Communicating with eye contact shows interest in what you are saying and respect to both you and the learners. This, combined with smiling and laughter, when appropriate of course, are dynamic duos for positive nonverbal communication. Use gestures effectively when teaching and training. Gesturing should be natural and come with ease when communicating something to your adult learners. And of course, posture and body orientation is something to be mindful of when communicating with adult learners. Try to remain inviting by having arms uncrossed and standing with an open stance. Motivation. Motivation is so important when teaching adult learners. In order to maintain motivation, the relevancy to the adult learner must be enhanced. Activities and assignments should relate to the learner's learning goals. Make the relevancy clear to the adult learner about why and how this relates to them, and this will inspire them to engage in the activity or assignment successfully. Allowing the adult learners some control over their education experience is important. Ask them to provide feedback about the course or allow them to make comments at the end of each class about why they liked or disliked or may need clarity on things. Emphasize real-world benefits by providing examples of real-life experiences or scenarios. Let them see for themselves how this information is not only relevant to them, but actual examples that demonstrate the relevancy in a real-world way. Using varied teaching methods is beneficial to motivating adult learners because not everyone retains information through the same method of teaching. Using a variety of teaching methods not only reaches to a broader audience, it also keeps adult learners engaged by stimulating them in different ways. Now that we have gone through all of the ways you can create a supportive learning environment, let's move on to our second component. Know your audience. Knowing your audience is so important. The more you know and understand about the background of your audience and their needs, the better you can prepare your course or training. So, what should you know about your audience before preparing your course or training? What is their current role or background? What are their expectations? How much expertise do they already possess? What type of learning do they prefer? If there are cultural considerations or special needs that need to be considered for some members of your audience, it's best to know those up front. Knowing about any preconceptions or biases some audience members may have, and knowing how the audience are intending to apply the knowledge they will learn at the end of this course is beneficial. This information can be gathered by turning to subject matter experts or asking a team lead. Researching in advance is also very useful. Of course, the World Wide Web is a tool you can use for finding out information. And last but certainly not least is the audience itself. There's no better way to find out more about your audience than just asking them. And now you have taken some very necessary steps towards another essential component of engaging adult learners, knowing your audience. So now you have built a supportive learning environment and have essential knowledge of your audience. Now what? Well, now you teach or train, and you do it through a variety of other essential techniques like encouraging the adult learner's curiosity and problem solving, create situations that present unresolved and provocative issues. This challenges adult learners to analyze, critique, make judgments, speculate, and express opinions. Encourage participation. This enhances the quality of adult learning. The more we are actively involved through participation, the more we learn. Draw on the adult learner's experiences. Expressing their experiences aids in their learning and helps with understanding the relevancy of the subject. Give opportunity for practice. Let them take the reins for a spin and give them a go at actually doing what they're learning about. Tell stories. Telling stories related to the subject you are teaching or training help others relate to what you are saying. And give bite-sized pieces of content. Try not to overload your adult learners with information. give them what they need, and tell them why they need it. And that's it! You've done it! You will now be able to successfully engage adult learners by using the strategies discussed in this presentation. You can change the atmosphere in your classroom from this to this. Goodbye for now!